better of us over the last few years. We know that, and it's not been good enough for our club, and we've not given our fans nowhere near enough days like today. So it's been a long time coming to this ground and picking up 3 points, but it means. I think it's the old cliche, it's only 3 points, but it's definitely not. It means a lot more than that to the boys, to the clubs, to the fans. I've been here 7 years now, and to come to this ground every time and not get 3 points has been tough. So yeah, it's for the fans, and I hope they have a great night tonight, because of course it is only 3 points on the table, but to come here and do it over Liverpool, and like I said, they have been a top team over the years, and they've been a lot better in recent years, so it's nice to get one over them.
Yeah, great moment for him. United's latest winner at Anfield since John O'Shea in 2007. Let's have a look at it then. What a moment for him. What a rush of adrenaline for Harry Maguire. As you said, Michael, they are very closely. Does he deserve that in a way with the attitude he has around the place?
I'm not making it personally, but I'm so pleased for him, because he's done some really good things for the football club, and he's been through the mill at times as well, and he's had some unfair times, but he's come back unbelievably well and turned into a leader and a real talisman in big moments last season as well, at times with big goals. And it takes a lot, you know. It takes a lot that when you're up against it and show real character and mentality. There's no hiding place at a club like United, and I'm just so pleased for him personally for that, and for the club to see that go in, see what it means to him. It's fantastic.
Yeah, to say it's been a roller coaster for Harry Maguire is probably something of an understatement.
Well, yeah, exactly that. I mean, any player at Manchester, but then since then it's been mainly of pain, of not making excuses, but always having to come out and front it. I mean, he's the captain at the end of the day. He's always the face. He's always had a broad pair of shoulders. He's always scored important goals, actually. But in the main, it's been disappointment for him. And he is one of the good guys. He is one of the nice guys. He leads by example, and you can't, take that away from him. So it's a nice moment for him, and obviously a nice moment for Manchester United. It was a good goal. I mean, it was a great ball in from Bruno Fernandes. It was a little bit loopy in terms of the cross. So from a defensive point of view, you're getting plenty of time to readjust and try to head that one out, but they were outnumbered 3-1 at the back, Liverpool. And when it drops to him, Manchester United won't want it on anybody's head other than his, because I know he plays centre-half, but he doesn't miss with his head much.
No, and the irony was, when we heard from Ruben Amorim before the game, and he was asked why he picked Harry Maguire and not Yoro today, he gave us 2 or 3 reasons.
It's spot on. We talked about both boxers, as much, and he defended particularly well, Harry, today, as United did in general, really, and limited sort of Liverpool to many chances in and around the box, few shots from outside. But that's what he is. He's a threat, and it's not a one-off. And the manager was right in the end and kept him on. This time, he's changed the back line at times. He kept him on is another point. Brought Luke off and brought Yoro on and left Harry on and got the benefit.
The other thing is, I think games like this suit him more than any other types of games, because when you're almost defending a little bit deeper, he's not having to worry about people running in behind him, a bit of pacing behind. He can defend the edge of his box. There's not many players that are better than Harry Maguire at doing that, heading anything that comes into your box with aggression. He's decent on the ball, so if the ball does end up at his feet, he's more than capable. And then, of course, set pieces at the other end, or attempts like that. So I think today, when the chips are down, it's the type of game that he probably revels in more so than playing a lesser team, playing a high line, and the team that are going to counter-attack that could really expose him. I think that's a tailor-made game for Harry Maguire.
Let's speak to one of the other Manchester United heroes alongside Harry Maguire. Matthias de Ligt is waiting to talk to us at Anfield. Matthias, well done. To be a Manchester United player, to win at Anfield against Liverpool, it hasn't happened since 2016. How good does that feel today?
Yeah, obviously, amazing feeling. I think it's been a long time, so to win it in this phase of the season, such an important game, is obviously a really nice feeling.
And to win it in the way you did, through Harry Maguire having conceded the equaliser, must have been some adrenaline rush.
Yeah, obviously the fact that we could still score the winner 2-1 says enough about our mental strength today. I think the focus was really high today.
Virgil, obviously you wanted desperately to end the losing run today. It hasn't quite happened. Why do you think not?
I think because obviously we conceded a very sloppy second goal. we worked so hard to get back into the game because we created opportunities to score the winner. But if you can see the second goal like that, obviously that's a disappointing part. And I think overall, if you look at the game, we were far too rushed. I think we were making wrong decisions at time, and that was also the moments where we were open if we lost the ball. And, disappointed day.
Far too rushed because of the games you've lost, and almost trying too hard. Maybe, do you think?
No, I think United was obviously very patient. They didn't press us that high. They didn't, they let us on the ball, and I think we made rash decisions at a time where obviously we had to stay maybe a little bit calm, but we still obviously created many opportunities to score and win the game. But the reality is that we lost, and it's an interesting time now that we have to stick together, and not only us as players, but together with our fans and everyone that wants us to win.
Yeah, interesting time. I believe he was saying that to me this week when I went to the training ground to talk to him.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen teams losing 4 games before on their own. You think, wow, where is the next win going to come from? The confidence looks gone. They're playing awful. They can't score. I don't see that with Liverpool at the moment. Going away to Chelsea in the last game, lots of teams lose at Stamford Bridge, and they lost them. They were the last kick of the game. It was a 50-50 game. Today, again, they played pretty well. I mean, they do look a little bit ragged at the back. Certainly in the first half, I thought they looked a bit stronger in the second half. The first half, they looked a little bit ragged at the back, but they're going forward and they're creating chances. As I mentioned earlier, they hit the post 2 or 3 times.
What about the chance at 2-1 for Cody Gakpo? I mean, most of the days this goes in and we're having a different conversation, aren't we?
And that is football. I don't look at Liverpool thinking, wow, this is a team that are really lacking in all kinds. I actually think quite the opposite. I actually think they played quite well today. And Manchester United, did really well themselves. Full credit to Manchester United. So everybody will be hurt in the Liverpool dressing room. The fans will go home a little bit unhappy, let's say. But I still think they've got a lot to look forward to. And, put it this way, when Arsenal are watching the Premier League results next week, again, they'll be thinking, hope Liverpool lose. They're still our big challengers. And that's the case.
Yeah, for me, I think with the Liverpool one, I think it's all good teams go into great teams. You're going to suffer at certain points, and it's how you get through that period and to turn into a really great team, to go back to back in terms of leagues. It's never smooth. You don't win every game. You go through patches, and like Michael said, I think they're playing well enough to. We spoke about before the game actually about Virgil van Dijk seemed to be like, we'll be all right, we'll get through it, and he had that element of confidence. He obviously very disappointed speaking in the interview. We just finished the game, but I think when the dust settles, I think they'll still take that a bit of belief and confidence. But that's the challenge, to turn to be good to very good to great, to keep that. And it's a bit of a slightly new team, and to evolve, I think you've got to have that riding out the tougher times, and I think they will. I think they're doing enough to get, but it is a test for them. It is a challenge for them.
Michael made a really good point, I thought, before the game when he was talking about, as players, you lose 2 or 3 games, and when you're got that elite mindset, when you are the champions, when you are winners, it's easy for you to shrug it off and just think, we'll bounce back, we're too good to, and that's fine, that's all right. Other people from outside can think, oh, what's going wrong at Liverpool, what's going wrong? But inside, as long as you're still thinking, yeah, we're still playing well, it's just a little blip. Now, obviously, the longer it goes on, the more you could start doubting it, and your confidence can start going maybe. At the moment, I still think they're playing well enough and feeling well enough about themselves. Lots of fit players, lots of chances being created.
Lots of chances.
Exactly. I still think they'll come off the pitch today not having their confidence battered at all. I think they'll still be thinking, do you know what? We're playing well enough to win games. It's just not going our way at the moment. And that's really important, because once your confidence, once your self-belief starts going, then you can slide away. But I do think it's just a blip in their...
I think so. It doesn't mean a lot. It means today, but tomorrow is not going to mean a lot. It's 3 points, but it's a good victory. But I will do the same thing that I did in the last games. Is try to see the game. Try to in key points we had some luck, but we fought for every ball. We lost our composure a little bit in the second half. But the most important thing, the spirit was there, and that is the beginning of everything. And sometimes you play more with the ball, and other days you play without the ball. But if you have the spirit, you can win any game.
Well, he's only the third Premier League manager to win a league game at Anfield in the last.
It's good players. It's with Manchester United when they haven't got the ball. And the Man United off the ball after going 1-0 up, having to defend deep, they put on a proper performance. It was the proper Manchester United that turned up. The first goal helped them, which meant they could defend deep and defend the lead. Obviously, when Liverpool equalised, we felt it was only going to go one way, but they showed the character and the determination. So I was always worried if Manchester United turned up and played properly when they haven't got the ball. The problem they'll have moving forward is obviously do they do this in every game? When they play the so-called lesser teams, are they going to perform like this? Yes, Man City, they beat them in the cup final. The big games, they turn up. But the consistency is their attitude and their commitment and their determination without the ball that they show today, which will help them moving forward if they do that.
What about Liverpool? Michael says he's not too worried because they're creating chances. There have been fine lines in each and every one of these defeats.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not worried at all because, of course, you look at the performances and the performance it warranted. Even today, they didn't warrant losing. They lost to Chelsea, who are a good team. So as long as they put in the performance, Liverpool are a bit different. Because regardless of who they play with the right commitment, determination, effort. So you'll win more games than you lose. So they lost today. Yes, they've lost against Chelsea and they've lost a few games. But if they continue to play this, they'll be fine. So, and once again, we assume that because we then spent 200 million on Wirtz and Isak and Ekitike, things are just going to fall into place. They're young players trying to get the balance right between attack and defense. We're finding our feet. But I have no worries about Liverpool. I'm not saying they're going to go and win the league, but they'll play consistently well and be right up there come the end of the season.
John, we spoke a little bit before the game about Mo Salah. Again, no goals today, a couple of missed chances. I mean, your opinion, and I think what we said before the game as well with Michael, it will come for Mo Salah. He's done it for many, many years. The longer this goes on, though, I mean, I can't think of lots and lots of games you went without scoring. The longer it goes on for him, does it matter to him? Do you think he'll be worried? Do you think the manager will be worried? Do you think he could actually move him out? Because there's so many different options now.
Well, I don't think he'll necessarily be worried, but I think that what has happened is that Liverpool are now a different team with different players playing in a different style. In the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years, the team has been designed and set up for Mo to score goals, be it Trent creating it, be it anybody creating for Mo, Bobby Firmino. Whereas now, once you have Isak and you have Wirtz and you have Ekitike, we're now doing different things. Everything is not just for Mo to score. So the fact that Mo won't be as impactful has nothing to do with him himself. It's to do with the nature of the team, meaning that we're going to share the creativity. Everything is not going to go through Mo. Wirtz himself, in terms of him being the number one at Bayer Leverkusen, where everything went through him, he hasn't necessarily showed the same form here because everything is now not going to go through him. But the team's still good enough as a combination of different people being creative in different ways rather than one person to win football matches. So I have no fears about Mo, no.
And just finally, John, what about Liverpool at the other end? They've given up chances again today, 2 clean sheets in 17 games. Is that understandable given the inconsistency, the way that the back four's been this season?
Well, I don't look at it from a back four perspective. I look at it from a whole team defensive perspective. Remember when we had, Fabinho and Milner and Henderson defensive midfield players, the fullbacks could attack, everyone attacks. Now our midfield is very creative. So we're very creative in midfield. But out of possession, we have to look at transitions when we haven't got the ball, how teams are causing us problems, like when Semenyo scored against us when he ran from his own half. So one thing, thinking that the solution to the problem is just signing great attacking players that we have. But the balance as a team defensively, when we haven't got the ball, not today, Man United sat back, but we have to get that right in terms of defending better as a team, rather than just looking at it as a back four problem.
Top stuff, John. Thanks for all your work today.
Thanks, guys.
Arne, can you tell us the story of the match from your point of view?
It's always difficult to play against a team that defends in the low block, that mainly plays the long ball. But it makes it even more difficult if you go 1-0 down after 1 minute after a player of us is on the floor. And then I think if you would have told me before the game that against the low block, against the team that plays so many long balls, we would have created as much chances as we did, I would have not expected us to lose this game of football. But that's what we did. So again, enough chances to score more than 1 goal. But on the other hand, again, conceding 2, where one of the 2 was a set piece.
Is that kind of a repeat of the last couple of Premier League games? It's a similar thing you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's, of course, we concede maybe one or two extra chances apart from the 2 goals we've conceded, but that's also the risk you take if you're 1-0 down. So we always have to take a lot of risk, and if you then take that into account, that we hardly give away a chance, and then we are waiting for us to score a goal, and we have to defend the set piece. And like against Palace, and like a few other moments this season, we've conceded in a set piece, and that's hard to take because it's very difficult to win a game of football if you have a negative balance in the set pieces.
The triple change certainly had a positive effect. Did you feel at that point we're going to go on and turn this right around?
I think people tend to forget how many chances we've already had when we were 1-0 down in the first half. Because if you're 1-0 down, it's quite normal that people focus on the ball that you play wrong, or a moment that you wait where you could have played forward and you don't. But Alexander Isak, first half, 1-on-1 to the goalkeeper, Cody Gakpo hitting the post twice. So even the first half, we've already had chances to go 1-1. But it's true that in the second half, this is mainly with us because the other team gets more and more tired. We create more and more. This happened against Palace, happened against Chelsea, happened today. This also has to do with the changes we've made, but also with the effort we put in the first half.
Any concerns over the run of results, or is it just something that you know will be rectified?
No, of course, concerns if you win. If you lose 4 times in a row, you need to be concerned because you know how it works in football. If we can keep bringing these performances in, we will have a fair chance of winning more football games. And if we can do a few things a little bit better, we would even have a better chance of winning a game of football. But you're never 100% sure if the next game you're able to create 8, 9, 10 open chances. So yeah, but as long as these players are again a setback, again 1-0 down, again playing so many times with 1-0 down and coming back in the way we did. If that mentality is there, there's a lot to take into the upcoming games. But losing 4 times in a row definitely does something with the team.
Yeah, well, 4 in a row in all competitions hasn't happened since 20. Game of their season against Manchester United. Remember, Liverpool looking to avoid 4 consecutive defeats in all competitions. Manchester United at Anfield, where they haven't won since 2016. They have drawn on each of their last 2 visits, and of course, yet again, trying to win back-to-back Premier League games under Ruben Amorim for the first time. So the team news, and Ruben Amorim has made a couple of changes to the team that beat Sunderland. In come Harry Maguire into defence and Matheus Cunha. Yoro drops to the bench, and so too does the £74 million striker Benjamin Šeško. He is only a substitute. Casemiro, despite playing 2 games in the international break for Brazil, does start. Agate is a substitute, and Lamens plays his 2nd game in goal for United as well. Liverpool are unchanged from the side that lost at Chelsea. That means that Gravenberch and Konate are both fit. It means as well that Wirtz and Ekitike, at a combined cost of could be £195 million, are both Liverpool substitutes. Right, let's hear from the Liverpool boss then, Arne Slot.
Well, Arne, you've asked for a spark, from an extra 1 or 2% from everybody. Is it a day with the opponent, with the situation, with the run you've been on, where you just need everything from everybody? It's about fight, determination, togetherness, those sorts of things.
Yeah, but that's necessary every single time you play a Premier League match, no matter if you've won 3 in a row, if you lost 3 in a row. But it's also clear if you play United, which is a very good team, like Chelsea last 2 weeks ago, that those basics need to be there. But what I meant with this extra 1 or 2% is that we are currently in the margins that don't fall our side, because I think against Palace and against Chelsea, we had in the second half much more chances than our opponent, but both we lost. So then maybe you need this last 1 or 2% of fighting spirit, of throwing yourself in front of a ball. If you have a chance, kill it, is what we might need at this moment.
So from a tactical aspect then, what's the one thing that you're really honing in on, the one thing you need to do better?
Now, coming back to the thing what I said last is, so I cannot blame our players that they don't work hard. They give everything they have every single time. Both games we were a goal behind. Both games we came back. So that is not the issue. That's why I cannot blame them. Simply work harder or make more tackles, all these kind of things. No. But there are 1 or 2 moments in a game that at this moment of time tell us where we need to do better. Then your question was, where can we win it? Yeah, that depends also on how they exactly line up. So we've seen Sesko playing, I think, the last 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and they go to Liverpool and change the lineup. This is not for the first time we face a team, so let's wait what we can expect.
What do you expect then with that change?
Could be a few things. Could be that Mason Mount is now playing as a 10, so that they play more of 5-3-2 than their normal 5-2-3. But yeah, we can only find out the moment the game starts.
Which isn't too far away. Let's go to Anfield. The man who knows all about this fixture, the Liverpool legend John Barnes, with us today. Scored 6 times, actually, in this fixture for Liverpool against Manchester United. Good to see you, John. How do you see this one today, then? United still trying to win back-to-back games. Liverpool on the back of these 3 defeats.
Yeah, but the performances haven't been bad for Liverpool. We really don't know which Manchester United is going to be the problem. If they play the way they played against Man City in the cup final, where they say you're going to have 70% possession, we're going to defend deep, defend on the edge of our box, catch on the counter-attack, it may be a game. But if they play an open game against Liverpool, I don't think they'll get anything from it. This is a much better balanced Liverpool team. You look at Wirtz and Ekitike on the bench. Obviously, when we made all of these signings, we thought put them all in the team, and the solution to our problems is just putting all the best players on the pitch. This is a much better balanced team. The goal we conceded against Bournemouth, when we lost the ball in the edge of our box and they ran straight into our back four and scored, showed that the transition when we lost the ball, for there's so many attacking players, meant that the balance wasn't right. This is a much better balanced team now, so I'm expecting Liverpool to put in a good performance.
And in terms of that balance on the team, and you look at the bench as well, there's real options now, isn't there? With nearly 200 million in 2 players for starters.
So therefore, the solution to our problem, as we won the league comfortably last year with no signings, now we made £300 million signings. Everyone thought we're just going to run away with it. We have lots of attacking players, and you can't get them all on the pitch at the same time. Not only that, if you look at Wirtz, when he was at Leverkusen, everything went through him. Everything. So therefore, now we have so many creative players, he won't have the same impact. Even Mo, now that we've got Ekitike and Isak, so we're going to spread the creativity, spread the goals around, which doesn't mean that that Mo or even Wirtz, when he gets on the pitch, isn't going to be as equally as important. But we're not looking to any one player to dominate, which is what I suppose people thought when Wirtz came, or when Isak came, or when Ekitike came.
John, it's Michael. You just mentioned Mo Salah there. Me and Michael Carrick did a little bit of analysis earlier on in this show about where it's going wrong. Do you think there is something going wrong with Mo Salah, or do you think it's just a matter of time before he starts banging the goals again?
It's the nature of the way the team plays. When, for the last 4 years, the team was designed for Mo to play, for Mo to score goals, for Mo to be creative, everything went through him. Once you then get Isak and Ekitike and Wirtz, everything is not going to go through Mo. So we have to understand that now everything is going to be for Mo Salah, but if he doesn't score as many goals as he does, or he's not as impactful as he was in the past, but he's still in a team that wins matches and he's part of that, that's going to be fine. Wirtz is a similar situation where Leverkusen, everything went through him. Now we're going to spread the creativity, so there's not going to be one player to have the same impact. So Mo isn't going to be any worse. It's just that he may not score as many goals or be as dominant, but as long as he helps the team to win, that's fine.
And John, it's a lovely problem to have, but do you feel a little bit for Ekitike? I mean, the start he's had for Liverpool and the goals he's scored, that he can't now, Isak is fit, get a start?
Absolutely. But of course, then we would say, well, why isn't Isak playing? Or why isn't Moore scoring? Or why isn't Wirtz playing? The solution to our problem is having a balance. And this is a good balanced Liverpool team, rather than saying play all the superstars in the team, because that for me is not the right way to go.
So how do you see this going today? Do you think Liverpool are going to win and get a few goals against this United defence?
Well, it depends on which Manchester United turns up, first of all, and how they play. I'm a little bit worried for Manchester United. If you look at the central midfield, where you have Casemiro, who has, from a physical point of view, can't get around the pitch as much as he did, alongside Bruno. Really, you want 2 midfield players who are going to protect the back four, particularly Maguire. So that could be a problem for concern if they're going to play an open game. If they just get back and defend in front of the back four out of possession, then they may have a chance, but it really depends on how Man United approach the game.
Enjoy it. We shall talk to you afterwards. Thanks, John.
Thanks, guys.
And when you look at that Liverpool bench, as I say, nearly £200 million on 2 players alone in Ekitike and Wirtz.
Yeah, it's a good few quid, isn't it? I think having a good squad, though, and having a big squad is not just about today as well. You know, it's about the whole season, and it's about going through the peaks and the troughs, and you need other players. And so we're here for about this and the lineup and who's playing and who's not. But actually, it's a long old season, and you need a big squad for that. They're going to have an impact at some point. Maybe today, you know, we're talking about the squad and the bench. Games up, look at the Aston Villa game. You know, the games can be won late doors, and especially for Liverpool. You know, most of the season they scored late goals, and I think that comes from having a lot of strength and depth and a lot of freshness to bring off the bench and impact games towards the end. So, yeah, they might not be starting, but it doesn't say that they can't impact the game as the 90 minutes flow.
Ekitike on the bench. We know that the backstory with Isak and the training he's missed, but Arne Slot, as I said in the build-up to this game, he's had his minutes now. He's played twice for Sweden as well. You can judge Alexander Isak from now on in this Liverpool team.
Yeah. I feel sorry for Ekitike because he had a really solid start and looked really good. Didn't just score goals, he looked the part in his first games for Liverpool. However, when you have someone like Ekitike and then you bring this guy in for 125 million or whatever he cost, I mean, you can't not have him as your first choice. You've got to give him that starting berth. I mean, he's proven it in the Premier League. He's been the thorn in Liverpool's side in a cup final at the end of last season. He is a top operator. I have him down as one of the top sort of handful of strikers in the world right now. And if we're going to judge him from now on, then fine. I've already judged him, to be honest, over the last, year or two. I think he's an exceptional player, and he's going to be the future. And as Michael says, it's not just about the here and now. These Liverpool signings are for the future. It's just whether they can all bed in here and now. This might not be the team, even though I came here today thinking that was going to be the team that started. This might not be the team that ends the season. You would like to think Wirtz will develop all season. And if he's on form, you can't leave him out as well. But at this current moment, I think this is the right team to play against Manchester United.
Okay, and let's hear from the Manchester United manager who has picked his team, which we'll discuss in a moment. Ruben Amorim.
Well, Ruben, does this feel like it might be a chance to change the story around the team and the club? You can win at Liverpool, which you haven't done in a while. You can win away. You can win back-to-back. All things you've not done in some time.
Yes, I said the same thing against Brentford. So in our club, the next game is always the most important. Is the game that is going to change the mindset of everyone. So it's one more game. We know the importance of the game, but if we start feeling that one game is more important than the other, I think that is the biggest mistake that we make for a while. But we know, of course, it's a different kind of game that we are ready to win it.
Just talk us through your changes. Cunha comes into the team for Sesko. I guess we'll play in that position, and Maguire comes into the back three. What's your thinking?
I really don't want to say a lot.
Tell us what you can.
Before the game, but then Maguire has a lot of experience. They have a lot of crosses also. Gives more power in set pieces also. That is really important nowadays in Premier League. And Cunha returning to the team, I think is one player that he has one characteristic that can help us to push the team forward. I think Konate and Van Dijk likes the confrontation in the air, so we'll try to give them different things to try to win the game.
And Salah Laman's had a really sort of calm and commanding debut. How do you think he'll cope with this place and maybe the intensity of the rivalry in the stadium?
Yeah, it's a different game, but I think he's ready. Everyone is ready. We just need to be really focused on the task, and everyone is ready to play the game.
Interesting team selection. I mean, I think most United fans expected Benjamin Sesko, £74 million striker, to play today. He's got his goal in the previous week, and he's on the bench. What do you make of that lineup?
I think he touched on it there in terms of, he said experience, and I think in general he's probably gone for that. They'll have played Anfield before. Pretty much everyone there was in there. They've sampled it, as we spoke before earlier on, about it actually playing for another team against Liverpool. Anfield is very different to playing for United at Anfield, but nevertheless they're a step closer maybe to that. We'll see, maybe there's a little bit of adaptation, a little change and a little tweak of that front three, and we'll have to see. But I'm not massively surprised. with that, to be honest.
I must ask you about your area of the pitch. We talked about it in the first hour of the show, the Agate, Casemiro with Bruno, and he's gone with Casemiro again. He started all but one of the Premier League games this season.
Yeah, he tends to be the one that, alongside Bruno, that they've gone with, I think. With Mount as well. And balancing it off. I think.
What about his physicality, his durability? Sorry, to get through a game, Mike.
Yeah, I think. Listen, he's got that nous and experience, and knows to put himself in clever enough to try and not expose himself too much. And I think that comes as the older you get. And he's not going to chase around. He's not got the energy and the mobility as we all did as you get older. But maybe the big game, the understanding, the composure, that and a little bit of, he's got that bit of bite and that bit of nastiness, and he's got that streetwise kind of, sometimes takes him over the edge. But in a game like, I think you need to play close to the edge today, and he's played in enough big games in his career that they'll be relying on him a lot today in that middle of the pitch.
And you talk about leadership at a place like Anfield. Is that why Harry Maguire's in? Because of his character and indeed his height, as Ruben Amorim alluded to there with cross balls?
Yeah, I think the physicality for Harry's an important part of it. In both boxes as well, we talk about he's coming in obviously in the back line, but he's ended up scoring some big goals over a period of time for United. A big moment, so you can have a say at either end. I think it'll be interesting, obviously, with the mobility of Harry and De Ligt. That's pretty obvious to see. So it'll be interesting to see Liverpool's front line and how they try and make the most of that and expose that with runs in behind.
So no Šeško. Be interesting to see what role Mason Mount has today, who, as we've seen, when he's fit, is a favourite of Ruben Amorim.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I hear Michael, I hear Ruben Amorim saying experience, but also there's a little bit of fear. I mean, going there with a centre forward, when you can thicken up that midfield. Let's go back to the piece that Michael did a couple of hours ago, just looking at that midfield. Well, this guy helps. This guy has got the discipline. This guy can run back and actually thicken up that midfield as well and make sure they're not outnumbered. So I think he will say experience, but I think deep down he knows that he's going to be sounder and healthier and stronger as a team and less exposed, let's say, going to Anfield by playing Mason Mount. He's got legs. He's going to do all the dirty work, let's say, as opposed to having someone like Šeško that, unless you're really on the front foot, unless you're creating chances, then going to Anfield, you're probably a bit safer than sorry.
Fascinating. So many subplots. It is the fixture that always the eyes of the world.